What is up, Gamer Army? Welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Psycho Gamer. I am your host, Aubrey. Yes, I just went there. Coming at you with a little bit of information. We got another Arcade1up cabinet that's actually on a really good sale right now, which we're going to talk about in this episode. We're also going to talk about something that I've done with my stream here, or my YouTube channel here. As you can tell, it does look a bit different. What does that mean? Well, you're going to have to stick around to figure out and to find out what it is that I've done. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe and turn on those post notifications as always. And stay tuned. We're going to talk about some holiday cheer right after this. All right, guys. Welcome back. Like I said, we are going to spread a little bit of holiday cheer, at least for some of you, if many of you haven't looked around to try to find any good sales. My last couple videos that you guys saw, they talked about some of the deals that were going on at the time. There is at least one more game that has a really good sale going on with it right now, and that is going to be the Simpsons Arcade. Yes, the Simpsons Arcade, the game that is in that horribly priced $6.99, $6.49 type range. Right now, you can go over to walmart.com and get it for $529.99. Yes, for the low price of $529, Simpsons Arcade can be yours. I have seen a couple other pictures of some Walmart starting to actually clearance out some of these particular arcade cabinets. I saw someone post a clearance picture for $250. Now, whether that was a real and legit type picture remains to be seen, because most of these other places, they've all got them priced at $529 right now, because that is based off of regular prices, and what many of the going rates are right now for the Arcade1up cabinets is a steal. Yes, I know, $170, $120, $130 off. That doesn't seem like as much of a steal, but hey, you can get it cheaper than what you would normally get it at for retail right this second. So on top of that, another bit of video game news has actually come out for pretty much all of us who have been dealing with video games for quite a while. And as you can see with the shirt I'm wearing, a Guitar Hero shirt, that we are going to be talking about Harmonix right now. Harmonix, the maker of Rock Band and Dance Central, has been purchased by the company Epic Games. That's a pretty epic purchase. Yeah, I know. That was a bad joke. But I've been holding that one in for a little while now. So it's very interesting for some of the jokes I have. Yes, I know. But I think this is a big piece of information, because I have seen many people who have modded Arcade1up cabinets to have them looking like Guitar Hero or Rock Band type machines, where they've put the guitars on the sides and they've changed all of the look and the feel and the layout of the actual cabinets themselves. And some of those cabinets have looked just amazing. I mean, I really can't knock anything anybody has really done when it comes to those cabinets, because they've done a lot of work to have something extremely unique. Yes, they probably had a game console on the inside of their cabinet, but it's still a cabinet nonetheless. I think more people are buying these cabinets to do mods than anything else these days. So we got to give people credit where credit is due. Now, one of the other things that I recently bought, actually today, as you may notice, my camera quality is a little bit different. I think in this case, the image is sharper. Yes, it's a little more widescreen, so you guys are seeing a bit more of my background than you normally would, at a little bit of an angle as well. I ended up getting a dual monitor mount, so I've still got to kind of figure out the placement that I want to do with these particular monitors, because I would like to get a third monitor, but I don't have that yet. Now, what webcam or what camera did I actually get? Well, I got the Elgato Facecam. So I've been using the Logitech StreamCam for a better part of a year. So you guys actually saw the quality of my stream go up significantly when it came to that. But there was an occasional little flicker or a little glitch that seemed to happen for 1 or 2 frames numerous amounts of times in most of my videos, which I had to actually go behind and cut 1 or 2 frames out at a time. There were times when I was cutting 20, 30, 40 of these different frames in some of the videos. I just ended up giving up. So in some cases you have seen some discoloration for the quality of my camera. Everything else looked perfectly fine. Now, the Logitech Stream camera, I think it was normally retailing for about $170, $180 when it first came out. And it is a USB-C only web camera. It was great. It sounded amazing on paper. 1080 resolution, 60 frames a second. Only problem I had is when I had it at that maximum settings, which is what you really want to use it at. That's where I started having the issues. Now, I recently started playing with it and found out if I only put it at 768p, then it seemed to work flawlessly without any issues, but that's not the kind of screen quality I wanted to give you. Now, being that I always had a 1080 resolution too, if you guys noticed, my camera quality, it was a little bit grainy. I've tried to go through and adjust some of my settings, and I just couldn't quite get them right, no matter what it was that I did. I tried to change the saturation, and nothing. It still looked a little bit grainy and almost a little bit foggy. Now, if you look at the new Elgato Facecam that I'm utilizing right now, it is much clearer. It's much more crisp. It's only using a regular USB-A 3.0 port. Now, if you don't know what that means, it's just your standard USB port that everybody's got on their devices, unless you've got a Mac. And then you'd probably want the Stream Cam, unless you needed to get an adapter. So, yay Mac. Ugh. I'm okay. But in terms of this, there's a couple things that you can really do to enhance the look of your actual stream. I'm going to open up my actual computer here just so we can pull up a couple pieces of software that you can take a look at. All right, first thing that you're going to take a look at, this is the actual Elgato website. So you can actually go in to their downloads and you can download their actual camera software. So you get the Facecam, and then you can go and take a look at some of the stuff they have on here first. It does actually have a lens cap, which was actually kind of cool. This camera is big. It is like maybe about 50% larger physically than the Logitech Stream Cam, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but when you actually want to get a good camera, the big thing you want to look at is going to be a lens size in this one. Now, the Stream Cam is utilizing a Sony lens, and it is a big lens comparing it to the Logitech lens. The Logitech camera itself is smaller, but it is heavier, which makes people feel that it might be a little bit better quality physically. Whereas you almost feel that you want to accidentally break the Elgato camera just by moving it around. So you can see all the different lenses they've got in here. I'm not a big camera person, so I apologize if I'm ignorant on a lot of the stuff here. It's got 2.4 aperture, focal length of 24 millimeters. Again, I don't know all of this stuff when it comes to the cameras, but I'm sure many of you out there are camera gurus. So it's got the Sony Starvis CMOS sensor, enables Facecam to capture extraordinary detail and minimal noise, which is kind of nice. Got its own heat sink. So if you notice, it's not that much stuff that's actually in this particular camera itself. There's your USB-C port right there, which, like I said, it comes with USB-C to USB-A cable, which allows you to utilize it in a majority of the computers on the market right now. There's very few that don't have a regular USB cable, but the thinner those computers are getting, the harder it is to get those USB ports on there because they just don't need them. Now, USB-C does transfer data much faster than a standard USB 3.0 port. So kind of keep that in mind. Flash memory. Now, that's one thing that I have noticed on this is you actually can go and open the Facecam software over here, and then you can change your settings. But the awesome thing is you can save those settings to your camera, What does that mean? If you're going to be utilizing something like OBS, you can just transfer the settings over without actually having to change it up. Now, what do I mean change it up? I'm talking about going in and changing settings. You know, it's like, yes, over here in the Elgato software, you have all these amazing settings that you were able to do in terms of changing the lighting and changing the background noise. You know, does OBS have all that same software, or Streamlabs, since they're not allowed to use the OBS name anymore, it's just called Streamlabs now. It's a pain to do. Now, this actually has its own memory, as you can see here, flash memory, where you can save it directly and just open it up over an OBS, and all your settings that you changed over there on the Elgato software is going to transfer over with you. So it's really nice. Now, it's normally a $200 camera. It's on sale, I think, for $169 right now over at Best Buy. In terms of other retailers, I'm not sure. So advanced image engine, ultra fast processor that works smarter, makes your video look beautiful. As you can see, it does look a lot better and cleaner. Manual controls, so you can dial in the look you're going for, just like a DSLR. So this is some of the ways that you're actually able to connect it with USB-C to USB-A or 3.0 port, which is awesome. Now, if you want to go even further, you can download the NVIDIA Broadcast app, which is another app that you can play around with, and you can utilize that software in your OBS as well. Now, what is that software going to do for you? Well, that software is going to give you the ability, which I'm going to open it up here, to change some of the settings in here. And one of the big settings you're going to be looking at is background blur. Now, a lot of gamers, they want to have that background either blurred out or they want to have it removed. I'm going to switch over into I'm going to open up my stream cam over here just so you can kind of get an idea. So as you can see right here, I've got it where you have the background blur. This is on my secondary camera now since I'm not using it as a primary. You can turn that off, and as you can see, my whole messy background on the side I didn't want you to see, but you can turn it back on. Now, a couple other settings that you can go in here, you can replace the background. In general, as you can see, there's a little bit of a flicker on the screen. It's also a matter of what color your background is going to have. If you have specific colors, it's going to jump out more than anything else. Now, if you keep it under quality, you're doing okay. If you switch over to performance, that's where you have stuff really flickering in the background. You can also change the picture too, so you don't have to keep just that particular NVIDIA broadcast there. You got your background removal, which is what a lot of streamers are really utilizing. I think this is probably one of the best pieces of software that they are using without physically having to have a green screen in the back. So if you don't necessarily have the money to get a green screen, this software can actually physically help you immensely just to prevent that background from coming up. Now, you can do auto frame where it will zoom in. It kind of focuses in a little more on your face, and it might move around a little bit as well, where you can zoom out or you can zoom it in. And that's where you look at video noise removal. That's just other ways to make the screen look a lot better as well. Also, on top of that, if your camera actually can support it, you can go in here and change all of your settings all the way from 640 by 360 all the way up to 1920 to 1080, at least on my camera. If you actually have a 4K camera, then you should be able to adjust it as high as that as well. But that's only going to go up to like 30 FPS instead of 60. So if you want to get that 60, you got to either get a stream cam or you got to get this particular Elgato Facecam as well. I think Razer also has one out as well. I forgot what its name is, but I believe it's another one that can do 60 frames a second. Now, there's a lot of videos out there doing comparisons between the two actual cameras, but you can tell by looking at this feed and the one down below, a little bit of the differences between the two, where the coloring is a little bit different, which might make you decide whether or not you want to get the face cam or if you want to get the stream cam. So I don't think you would really be getting a bad camera on either option, but it's a matter of will your computer actually support having this particular setup? Do you have a strong enough computer that can handle the ability to make these kind of videos or stream these kind of videos at this quality. If you've got a computer that you bought for $400, most likely you're going to be either using the web camera or not using a camera at all, because you're trying to take the hardware that you have and squeeze the most amount of performance out of it just so you can play halfway decently at games like Fortnite or something to that effect. Now, a couple of things of note that you need to know that when you actually do utilize this NVIDIA software is when you actually turn on OBS and you go to add a camera, you're actually going to click web camera or camera or whatever the device is, your display device. You're going to click your device and you're going to click camera NVIDIA broadcast. Now, that could cause some glitching, a little bit of lag or delay there. Hopefully you really don't have as many issues as that. Now, one thing that I have noticed with this particular camera is that it does tend to crash during OBS. Now, it seems like the only time it tends to crash is when I have this NVIDIA software open. So it makes me wonder if this NVIDIA broadcast software is causing an issue or a glitch with the actual OBS software. If it is, hopefully that's not an issue. But if it is, then that hopefully is something that OBS and NVIDIA are looking into to try to make it where their collaboration might work a little bit better, as opposed to having people having crashing issues in the middle of streams where they have to go and deactivate and reactivate their actual camera, which is what I've had to do a couple of times since I got this camera today. So just one little tidbit right there for you guys. Now, what do you guys think? Do you guys like the quality of the picture? Do you guys think I should move the camera around? Like I said, I'm doing pretty much all of this for you guys. Again, this is just really good information for a lot of you guys that are wanting to start out streaming, or maybe you've already been streaming for a while. Maybe you just want to get a couple extra little tips. Those are a couple of things that I just really found out the past couple of days in terms of the NVIDIA one, or else, you know, I may have been doing something different in terms of my actual video quality and maybe some different settings. So I think the brightness is really good. I don't look as washed out as I was with the stream cam. So I'm liking it. I think this was a very good purchase to maybe level up my stream or my videos just a little bit. Obviously, the best upgrade would be getting a DSLR camera, but the one I want, it's on sale for $550 right now for Best Buy, and it's completely sold out. So, which is going to be the Canon M50. Also, this pretty much took up any kind of money I had set aside for Christmas. Oh well. But it's okay. Again, this is for you guys. So hopefully you guys liked the video. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. Maybe give me a thumbs up too for some of the comments. And stay tuned, guys. We're going to make more videos soon. But before that, I want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if I don't see you before then. And I hope all of you guys get fat from nice Christmas dinners. But it's also about family. So make sure you spend that time with your family. If you're around them, if not, live stream them, get them on camera so you can spend time maybe in a digital way with them, especially if they're on the other side of the country. So until next time, guys, appreciate you once more. Game on.